Ouch! Oh, hi. Wait a minute. Who are you? What is up, fans and coaches of the All-Star Showdown League? It is your favorite bitch, Susie, back at it with another playoff implications video, week 13. And I'm here with my trustful sidekick, Hutch0322, or Gazelle Overwatch on Twitch.
I somehow survived that intro.
Uh, I don't know how my voice went to so many different octaves, but that was actually incredible. So I'm glad I pulled that off. That was totally the first time I did that. Most of the time I rehearsed it for a good minute, but no, this one I had it down. So pretty proud of myself. We have some exciting news at the end of this video, I believe. I'm not 100% certain because Hutch and I don't talk that much because he doesn't like me. But I'll state it, and if I'm wrong, he can just shut me down, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So let's hop right into this, and we'll start off with number 14, the Denver Numals, coached by the Master, the Master, 1-12, -30, 7 games back. And yes, you read that right, 1-12. He won a game. Oh, I forgot to fix that. Wait, that's awesome. I wrote down earlier. Oh, whoops, forgot to fix that. And then I went down and I read that. And that actually applies again because I forgot to fix that, what I just wrote there earlier. That is like so
Mind
ironic. That's
blown.
awesome. Well, let me go back to what I was saying. So, yes, you read that correctly. That's not a 0 in the left-hand column. That's a 1. Blake has 1 win on the year, and that's coming off a 1-0 victory over Cam, the coach of the Washington Wailords. It was a good battle. Gives him some momentum going into the playoffs, and Blake's a team that could be interesting in the consolation bracket. But again, he's lost 12 games. So if his games from earlier this season have shown us anything, if he does well to start off his games in the consolation bracket, he'll just throw away the lead again and choke like the Raptors in the playoffs. Hutch?
Yeah. He chose the wrong basketball team to base his team name off of. But yeah, we got the Denver Nuggets here, coached by DeMaster. Like I said, he would probably get that week 13 win. He did. Olin Marowak just put in the absolute work.
Uh,
And at the end, I don't know if this is what you were talking about, but we're gonna talk about playoff matchups. But so yeah, I'll talk about that later. I'm not gonna talk about it while we're on each team. But yeah, the Master finally got his wins, so he won't be the one team that went 0-13. He will just be joining Cam and Malone as people to go 1-12. So a little bit better.
Yay!
I
Woo!
mean, it's not unwinning. So you could take away something from this season. But yeah, maybe the Master can do something in the consolation bracket. We'll see. It's like the Master's playing with zero expectations, so he could just bring absolute fire and straight destroy someone. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
Well, I would like to add something. Being in a club with Cam and Malone is actually an honor. So, congrats on that win, Blake. You guys are in the 1-win club. Let's get a standing ovation for them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's move on to a member of that club, Country Boy Cameron, the coach of the Washington Wailords. Cam is 3-10 with a -33 differential. And as you can see at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, that column is very red. Cam has lost a bunch of games in a row, and he's coming off a week 13 loss to Blake, like we just said. For Cam, his play has definitely gotten worse as of late. I think it's more of an effort thing. He's shown he's able to beat a lot of high-quality coaches this year. I believe he beat you, Hutch, right?
Yes.
Yes? No?
Yes.
Maybe so?
Yes.
I don't know what "s" means.
What?
You just blink. Are you like cutting out and I'm stupid or something?
No.
Well, Cam has had some quality wins this year, and he could pick up some nice wins in the consolation bracket, but his recent play has not been good, so I would not pick Cam to go very far.
Yeah. So Cam had like we say it every single week. It's pretty redundant at this point. But Cam started off pretty well. He's not been playing very well recently. Got a big red bar right there. But I mean, when we started doing playoff implications, he was pretty much already eliminated. So, I mean, he's kind of just playing to play at this point. But yeah, like we've said with the Master, we've really no expectations for him going into the consolation bracket. So there's no pressure on him, and he can just make like risky plays that might pay off and might get him an upset win. So we'll see how he fares in the consolation bracket.
Yes, we will. Moving on, the team currently in 12th is the Phoenix Flygons, coached by Keister. Keister is 5-8 this season with a negative 18 differential, and he's coming off of 3 straight losses. The last one being against Shadow in a game where Keister brought some serious heat like he had the week before, but was unable to win. Keister's been trending downward lately, as I just said, as he's lost 3 in a row. But at times, he's shown to be one of the best coaches in the ASL, winning season 3? Question
Yep,
mark?
correct.
My knowledge is so good, thanks. So Keister could definitely make a run in the consolation bracket, and we'll just have to see if we get the old Keister or the last 3 weeks Keister.
Yeah, so Keister has been absolutely plummeting recently. I mean, even he would have had to win 3 of these games, and it really depends on if his differential is actually good enough if he wanted to make playoffs. But yeah, he's been really getting decimated lately. I mean, once you get eliminated from playoffs and at the point that he's at, I mean, there's really no reason to try in your games unless you're like trying to get those self-esteem point record. Um, but yeah, he's just been getting destroyed in his games. I mean, his last week game was a forfeit loss, but he was at like 8th at one point, and he's gonna drop all the way to 12th heading into the consolation bracket.
Did you hear my YouTube video by accident? Because I have one of my earbuds out.
Briefly, yes.
I don't know if it went through. Well, the team we have currently in 11th is the PC Barcelona, coached by Shadow. Shadow was 5-8 this season with a minus 12 differential. He's coming off of a 4-0 victory over Keister. And as I said before, and I don't know what, I think it might have just been in the ASL. Shadow is the team in the Shadow is one of my sleeper picks for the consolation bracket because he brings elite prep at times. So I could see him making a deep run, but also he's shown to struggle against very good coaches, and he could end up running into AZ or Milan. So you never know.
Yeah, Shadow is gonna get a nice 4-0 victory, which is just gonna swap up the consolation bracket seeding. That's really all it does. So he's gonna play someone different. But if it weren't for this, I still think for Shadow, this is a very winnable game because, like I've said, Keister just really hasn't been playing well at all lately. Shadow hasn't been playing well at all either, but, you know, it would be kind of a toss-up at that point. But he's going to get a little bit of a higher seed in the consolation bracket, and considering he went 2-11 last season, it's really good to see him go 5-8.
All right. I just realized something, Hutch.
What's up?
Our transitions are so weak. It's kind of sad.
Well, I mean, there's not really much to go
You gotta
off
end
of.
it with. You gotta throw me a bone so I can catch it and go with it, or I gotta throw you a bone and so forth. We gotta improve on this.
All right, Susie,
All right.
go ahead and talk about number 10.
Thank you very much for that. And the team currently in 10th place is the Amsterdam Alakazams, coached by Commander Milan, not Milan. Thank you very much. Take notes, Hutch. Milan is currently 5-8 with a negative 7 differential. He's coming off of 2 nice wins and then a loss against Grand 3-0 in this last week in a game where it seemed controversial at first because Milan was unsure if acupressure was legal because of the evasion boost. but it is. So it was unfortunate. That was a game where I think Milan had that. Had it not been for that set, it was very nice prep on Grand's part. And like I've said in certain weeks to some coaches, I don't know if I'd count that as a loss. It was just a solid game played by both coaches. I definitely think Milan's the favorite in the consolation bracket as he's been playing very well, and he's a team that he enjoys using very much so. So he is my pick right now, and I'm going to stand firm on that. Over to you, Hutch.
Yes, like you said, if it were not for that acupressure, there's no way that Gran wins that game because then Scalds would be hitting, the Metachan would not get the attack boosts, just a bunch of different scenarios there. But Milan, if he won that game, he would have jumped to 8th, so definitely a little bit unfortunate in terms of seeding because he would have gotten a much easier game 1 if he was in 8th rather than being in 10th. But yeah, he played pretty strong up until Gran. I mean, even in that game, he's set himself up to win. It's just Gran out prepped him in that sense. And yeah, like you said, Milan has got to be one of the favorites for the consolation bracket. And it sucks to see him at 5-8, but I'm very, very excited to see what Milan does in the future with this franchise.
No transition. Wow.
And at number 9.
Thank you for that, Hutch. And the team in 9th place is the St. Louis Swablues, coached by Malone. Malone is 5-8 with a -5 differential, and he's coming off of a crushing 2-0 loss to EN, where he was in the game the entire battle. It was a very solid game by Malone. And that was a solid game for Malone and his regular season on, capitalizing on a solid season so far. And I believe this is his best record to date, and he's been getting better every single season. I definitely see him picking up a win or two in the consolation bracket and having a solid shot at winning it. So go do that, Malone, and make me proud.
Yeah, so like you said, it's a better record. He actually had the same record. He was 5-8 last year, but his differential is tremendously better. Last year it was -18, and now it's -5. So that is a lot of improvement because he's making his games closer. So yeah, he's gonna lose to EN this week. That's nothing you can really dock. EN is 10-3 this season, pretty fantastic. And Malone played the game really well. I said in weekly recap that went up yesterday, there was a couple of plays at the end where he didn't set himself up in the best way to win, where he should have gone Kyurem on the Metagross instead of going Rotom on the Metagross. But it doesn't even guarantee him the win at that point. But yeah, we've seen Malone improve a lot. Like you said, I think he's going to get 1 to 2 wins in the consolation bracket, and I think he's got a decent shot at winning it. So I'm very excited to see Malone play in the consolation bracket this season. Okay, you ready for this segue? Okay. So some people drink 2% milk. This next coach drinks 6% milk. Take it away, Susie.
Hey! Thank you for that great transition. That will be the transition that all other transitions are held up to and compared to. That was fantastic. The team currently in 8th is the Utah Hoots, coached by Goatmaster18, Thoughtslayer18 _420 _6969. Susie is 6-7 this year with a -14 differential. Yes, take a minute to just admire that beautiful differential. I've lost one more game than I've won, and I still have a -14 differential. That is spectacular. That is amazing that I somehow did that. That's amazing how terrible that is. Thank you. I'm coming off of a win over the Portland Timbers in Week 13, 2-0, in a controversial game where I won off of a 6% roll on my Mega Venusaur's Giga Drain versus Hutch's Bandit Excadrill's Earthquake set. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but sometimes I just start talking and I try to find a sentence and I can't even give a Michael Scott quote. Oh, it's a rough day.
It's
well,
a sad
I'm
day.
6-7. I'm 6-7, and going in the consolation bracket, I have the second highest seed, but as you can tell from my differential, I'm kind of bad at this game. But as someone has pointed out, the majority of my wins are over coaches behind me in the standings. So I think I pick up a win or two, but I'm not going to lie. I don't like my chances versus Milan or Malone or AZ. Yeah.
Okay, So you are in the number 8th seed right now. You deserve to be in the number 12 seed, but it's whatever. It's a 6%, bro.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, so you got the win over me. You played decently well. You played with the YOLO on the Farah seed, which ultimately worked
That was
out.
so good. That play was so
That
good.
that was kind of just like a play that you literally had to make or you lose anyways. So that was good on your part. I mean, got a chance in the consolation bracket. You're gonna be playing a lower team because your seed is so high. So yeah, we'll see how you do in the consolation bracket, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get to 7 wins next season if we're lucky. And for the next
Don't
team,
taunt me.
that was one game held out of the playoffs. We'll call them the Denver Nuggets. Go ahead and take it away.
That hurt me so bad. Taj Gibson should have been called for so many fouls against Jokic.
Hey, calm down. Don't high roll me.
Oh my God.
Take it over.
That game. Jokic should have gone to the line. Gibson was fouling him. Oh my. Okay. Well, the Houston Hoopers, as you just said, they're the Denver Nuggets of the ASL. 1 game back of the playoffs. Held out with 7 wins. That's very unfortunate. In the ASL, it's typically pretty close, whether it comes down to 7 or 8 wins to make the playoffs. And this year, you had to have 8. Very unfortunate. AZ came off a very tough loss against TCP in Week 13. Both teams were at great prep, and it was a very solid matchup. Looked like a pre-playoff game almost. AZ is definitely one of the favorites to win the consolation bracket. He has a great team. He's a good prepper. He's pretty funny. So yeah, that gives you points in my book, AZ. Good luck in the consolation bracket, and if we meet, please don't beat me. Take it away, Hutch.
Yeah, so we were hyping up this match against TCP, and AZ the entire time we've run this series, and it lived up to the hype. It was a very highly contested match. It really could have gone either way for a while. AZ had like a nice Bulu set, but then TCP was putting on pressure with the Mega B drill. So it was a back and forth until Mons started to drop, and then AZ, his team eventually crumbled. But he had a very good season, really nothing to be ashamed of with this season. And I would say him, Malone, and Milan have to be the favorites going into the consolation bracket. And
Me, ouch.
your differential is bad, and like I said, you deserve to be 12th. But anyways, yeah, AZ had a great season. It's just he could not beat TCP, which is that's nothing to be mad at either. TCP has not lost since week 6.
Guess who beat him that week? Yeah.
You on an 18.8% chance roll. Dude.
Addy Suze beat him, dude.
Dude, a third of your...
I'm the Pokey Hacks God, 18. Pokey Roll God.
Dude, a third of your wins are on rolls that are less than 20%. That's actually stupid. Okay. So yeah, AZ, good luck in the consolation bracket, man. And with
okay. In my defense, hey, let me talk. In my defense, the only reason that game came down to a roll was because I misprepped and I put Thunderbolt on instead of Thunder because I always forget that, and I've done that like 3 games this season. But that game, I didn't change that during the playtest.
That's not to mention you literally threw away the 6-0 at the beginning of the game.
You did? Yeah, that was
with
sad.
the Venusaur. You weren't paying attention. You just like, oh, I'm gonna click Kurth again, and then you got killed.
Yeah, I forgot to calc, and I was like,
you threw away the game at the beginning.
But I really have to go pee. So I just clicked on that and went to the bathroom really fast. I was like, oh my God. Okay, anyways, moving on to the playoff teams. The team currently in 6th. The Arcane Arcanines, coached by Daddy 18, Legend 27, Altaria Motives Ian. Ian is 8-5 with a positive 14 differential this year. He's coming off of a 4-0 loss against TJ. Ian is as good as a 6 seed would come in the playoffs. Very solid coach. When he has Feeney and Scizor, you know shit's about to go down. His team comp with those guys is gross. Again, playoffs is largely subjective to matchups. That's just how it is. A lot of the coaches are very, very solid in terms of prep and play. So I haven't looked at all the matchups. I'm guessing you have, Hutch, but
Yeah, I know them all.
I definitely think Ian makes a run in the playoffs if he can avoid running into EN and TCP early on.
He plays TCP
I don't
round
know
one.
how fucking bad, dude. Oh god, TCP might be the hottest coach in the league right now, and
Yeah,
Ian.
he is.
Oh, dude, you're my sleeper pick, and you had to become the 6th seed. God, I should have beat you worse, Hutch.
Ian
God
isn't
damn
my
it.
sleeper pick. I'm picking Ian to win the whole thing. He's not even my sleeper pick.
Ian's good. Like
If you don't
his
believe me,
team's filthy.
if you don't believe me, watch Pick'em each week. I will pick Ian every single week, even if he plays me.
Oh, fun fact: every single week I pick Blake most of the time, and I always pick against TJ because I'm still mad about that game last year when it didn't even matter.
Bro, the damn
But
salt. All right. Anyways, I'll take this away because you're just ranting. So we got Ian here, as like
Yeah.
you said. This is the greatest they come as 6 seeds. I think Ian should have been higher, but like he threw away his week 13 game. He didn't really care. He had already clinched playoffs, so he just, give these lower mons some stat lines. And yeah, I think he didn't want to play TCP. That was like the one matchup that he didn't want to have. I think he wanted to play me or TJ because he has way better matchups. So unlucky for Ian. Thank God I don't have to play him though. But yeah, Ian is gonna go far. Like I said, I think he's gonna win it all. I really do. He has beaten Ian. He was very close to beating me if it wasn't for my D-Dan Zard. He could have beat TJ if he tried. We'd never know. And I don't know if he beat TCP or not. Not too sure on that.
I can check really fast. I'm pretty doubtful of this once they played early on because TCP hasn't lost a game in over 2 months. I think.
Yeah, I'll just look.
I think it's 7 or 8
I'll
weeks.
just look through the first 6 weeks or whatever. Arcanine.
I'm looking also. I'm gonna beat you there.
No, you're not. You're lying to me. I think TCP won against him.
TCP won, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Yes, he did. Week
Yeah.
10, he beat him.
Yep.
He beat him 2-0 in week 10.
All right, so it'll be interesting. We'll see with that first matchup, but yeah, I think Ian's gonna win it all. Don't let me down, Ian. All right.
One thing to point out is Ian potentially could have, I think it's pretty clear that he didn't try because he didn't want to show any of his stats for the playoffs because he knew he might draw someone like TJ. So I think that's one of the factors why that game happened. I know it was very unlikely that he had to play TCP. So again, he might have thought that would have been his best bet. But yeah, very unfortunate for Ian. And this game is easily the match of the week, in my opinion. Easily.
Yeah, for sure.
The team currently in 5th is the Portland Timbers, coached by Hutch_03_22, or Hutch0322, as people like to call him in the Discord community. Hutch is 8-5 with a positive 16 differential. Yup, that's pretty fire, dude. That's pretty legit. Mad props to that. And Hutch is coming off of a 2-0 loss because of a 6% roll. Hutch, I believe you play TJ in the first round, correct?
Yep.
Exciting game. I believe he beat you, or am I stupid?
He did beat me. 6 kills from Komo.
6 kills from Como against me also, dude. We're like the same person, except I get good rolls and you get bad rolls.
Except you literally got 6-0'd and I got 4-0'd. So, mine looks a little bit better.
Setup is stupid. If setup wasn't in Mons, I wouldn't be that bad. Setup's gay. Anyways, Hutch is a very dangerous coach. You've shown to be very clutch in the playoffs until
when I get to finals, that's a free win. If you're playing me, congratulations. You've won the ASL.
Okay, well, before the finals, I think you're easily the most consistent coach in the playoffs. I mean, last year you beat Cody in the playoffs, which is just insane.
6-0 him, to be exact.
That is crazy. Nobody likes to draw you in the playoffs. Being a 5 seed is almost nice for you. You have lower expectations than most people, despite your prior history. I'm excited to see how you do.
I don't
And
have low
I know,
expectations. I've only lost one playoff
and
game ever in the ASL that wasn't a finals game.
one more thing. Do you draw? Is Ian on your side of the bracket or is Gran?
Gran is on my side of the bracket.
Gran is on your side of the bracket,
Mm-hmm.
dude. Hutch, I think I got you going to the finals. Then I don't know.
You better have
I
me
think you're
losing.
going back to the finals.
You better have me losing those finals.
With
All
that
right.
draw, I honestly think you can make it to the finals. I don't know if you win because you're pretty bad in the finals,
Yes.
but I think you have a solid shot of the finals. So don't fuck up.
Sounds good. So yeah, I have made the 5th overall seed. We'll be playing TJ first round, and got destroyed by Susie from unfortunate events. Very unfortunate
Suck.
events indeed. And
Rock Week teams, roles, everything. All excuses.
your excuse is my Rock Week team. Anyways, I would have been the number 3 seed if not for this, which is good because then I would have played Ian. So thank you for actually getting that 6% chance to kill me. And I don't have to
You're
play
welcome.
EN in the semis, so this is actually pretty good.
Because I love you, Hutch. I did it on
No,
purpose.
it's because you just want to spite me and high roll me, max roll me.
I want you in the finals because I love you.
But anyways, we've been on this slide enough. Just
Homo.
go ahead and take it on to the team with the most kills on one single mon.
Okay, the team currently in 4th. Yes, that does say Died Como. Oh, I did that when we were on slide. I think, like my slide maybe, or the team before me. I
think
made
it
that
was
pretty
before that.
fast. Well, the team currently in 4th is the Slow Bohemians, coached by TJ. He's 8-5 with a positive 18 differential. Coming off of a solid win over Ian, they might take that statement back. I don't think they meet in the playoffs unless it's the finals, right?
They meet in finals.
That could end up happening, but TJ is coming off of a solid win, and his season has mainly been propelled by Como Amon. A lot of people have slept on. This thing has come in and done very well this year. I hate it. You hate it. Everyone else hates it. Please don't vote it for MVP. Anyone, please don't. Even though it should win it.
How
But
can you not vote it?
TJ, Touch, that should be an interesting game. I've heard mixed things from both of you. I've heard one of you saying you have a good match, one of you saying you have a bad matchup, the other saying they have a bad matchup. It's going to be interesting. Should be a very exciting game. Unfortunately, I have Hutch over you in the first round just due to Hutch's success in playoffs. But you have shown to have very high quality prep this year, and if you put that effort in again, you might bring elite prep and be able to dethrone the early round king himself, Hutch.
Yeah, so we got TJ here, and TJ did pick up a nice victory over Ian. I think he was already clinched at the time of playing this, but he might as well just play it because if he didn't try and he 1-0'd Ian, I promised that I would revoke all of Kamoo's kills because then I would have played Ian in the first round. I wasn't serious about that, but I might have been.
We're
And
serious, don't lie.
I might have been serious about it. So, anyways,
You
yeah,
were.
he's just gonna. I mean, the next time he would play Ian is in the finals, so maybe it would have happened, but I think TJ's just okay with beating up on Ian now, and yeah, props on the season using your watermelon dragon to victory. So talking about the hottest coach in the ASL right now, he is 104 degrees. Take it away.
Have a fever, TCP. 7 wins in a row. That is way too long. Will you lose again? We may never know. Or will we? Find out on the next episode of Dateline NBC. Anyways, currently in 3rd, the Hartford Whalers, coached by TCP, are on a crazy win streak. Started off the year 2-4, dropping an unfortunate game to me on a very shitty roll. Suddenly after that, I believe you beat TJ, and then the wins just keep kept coming and coming and coming and coming until you had 7 in a row. And now you're sitting here in the 3rd seed, all the way back from the bottom-ish. Not the bottom, because Blake was always in the bottom because he sucks. But coming off of 3 fantastic wins, the win over EN was very, very, very great. The prep was amazing in that game. The play was great. That was a beautiful game. I hope we see a rematch in the playoffs. And then a week last week against AZ, who brought great prep, and you brought great prep. It was a great battle from both teams. And honestly, getting that match in week 13 was huge for you. It's like a warm-up for the playoffs by getting to play a team who was giving it his full effort. I'd be lying if I said I don't have you going to the finals and winning, because you're the hottest team right now in the ASL. You've proven to do it before, and you seem like you understand your roster perfectly now. You're on a tear, so don't let me down, and go pick up that win against Ian. Although I love Ian too, so rip.
Yeah, TCP has honestly been killing it lately. I don't really like the structure of his team, but hey, if the team works for you, then go for it, man. But yeah, TCP has been really, really dominating as of late. And yeah, he was at 2-4 in one point. Now he's 9-4. His differential isn't all that considering he is 9-4. He's had some close games, and he's been destroyed in a couple of his losses. But yeah, he's really earned this 3rd overall seed, and Ian is definitely gonna have a tough time playing him in the first round because TCP has built up so much momentum over the weeks that he's gonna be looking to steamroll right through Ian's team.
Real talk. How gross would it be if TCP traded his Zygarde to Ian's team?
Why do we want to imagine that? Ian already has
Be
Garchomp.
gross. Like,
Ian already has Garchomp. He doesn't need any more. Calm down.
I had a really clever comment and I forgot it, so I'm like really sad. So when I think of it, I'm just gonna blurt it out randomly, even if you're talking. So just be
Cool.
aware of that.
Sounds good.
Anyways, the team currently in 2nd is the Aussie Kangaskhan's, coached by excellent name, 10-3 with a positive 26 differential. That is correct. Ian's coming off of a nice win over Malone, 2-0. And he's been sitting the playoffs comfortably for pretty much the entire season. Ian is definitely a top 3 coach in the ASL, if not higher than that. His play with the Oxus speed has been spectacular this season. And his consistent play just makes him a top team going into the playoffs. I don't know his exact draw. I will check very fast, but I would not bet against Ian early on. He's a very solid coach. He does not bring poor prep at all. It's always top-notch prep. And I believe in the 2nd game he plays. Who does he play?
In what? Semifinals?
Okay, so in the semifinals he plays Ian or TCP. That should be a great game. I don't know if I'm going to favor him or who I picked as the winner of that game, TCP. They're both great coaches, but that should be a spectacular rematch. We will see if TCP's Reggie trio is as spectacular as it is, and if he can get another win thanks to that spectacular GOAT squad.
Yeah, so Ian has had a pretty good season. He was sitting at 2-2 at one point. He was a little concerned about where his season was going. But then he just went on a tear, and like despite the TCP game, he's won every single game. So on the back of Deoxys picked up 19 kills in this season. Just absolutely tremendous work from that thing.
The new Kartana.
Yeah, not as dominant as Kartana, but definitely putting in the work. So yeah, Ian has had a fantastic season. I mean, yet again. We expect nothing less. And if Ian doesn't win the finals, I would say it's probably got to be Ian to win it.
That side of the bracket's just gross. I realize I'm getting kind of ahead on my predictions when it's like really early on, but I kind of want to like give my lay of the land just so you guys can expose me next week when I'm totally wrong. So anyways, Let's get to the top dog right here. Number one, the Klinklang United, coached by Gran. Gran sputtered a little bit when he took over the team from Cody, but he's coming off of 2 solid wins, including a 3-0 win over Milan, who is definitely a playoff caliber type coach. So that's very encouraging to see him win that game. Just due to the fact that he didn't draft his own team and he hasn't been super dominant, I don't see him going too far. But again, he is a very solid coach, so I wouldn't doubt him too much. But sadly, I have Hutch beating you in my brackets. But good luck, Gran.
So yeah, we have Gran here at 11-2 with a plus 38. I think that is the highest differential ever scored. Credit goes to Cody for most of it because
Like 30.
Cody was like 7-0 with a plus 25 at one point. So
I think he was higher. I think it was like 30.
Whatever it was.
It was
A lot of
nuts.
the credit goes to Cody, but if you look at Gran's past 2 games, he has not been lacking in the differential category. He picked up a nice 5-0 and a 3-0, and this week was really reassuring for Gran. I think it gives him a chance in the playoffs because if he loses to Milan, I would honestly say that he loses semifinals indefinitely, whether he plays TJ or I. I think he's got a chance now. He definitely is proving himself as much as he can as a contender in the playoffs. So, yeah, we'll see how he does. And, yeah, we'll see.
Dude, I'm mad at you. You're so good with your numbers. You said it was plus 25 after 7 weeks, and it's exactly plus 25.
I know, I have good memory. All right, so
Fun fact to bring up with you guys to entertain you before we go to the last slide, which Hutch is already on, I guess, and I'm disappointed.
Yep.
According to Blake, I have some insider information that Marowak
Got
recorded a triple-double this season.
he literally just
A
sent that to me.
triple-double. 10 kills, 10 deaths, 10 games. Call this man Russell Westbrook. Anyways, moving on to the playoff picture. As you can see, this is the lay of the land.
Here,
those of you,
I'll go ahead.
no, I will do it. I will do it.
Do you understand?
I will do it.
Do you understand the color
Yeah.
coding?
All lays out, yes.
Okay.
So as you can see, this is how the playoff lies. In the consolation bracket, the matchups will be AZ versus Blake, myself versus Cam, Malone versus Keister, Shadow versus Milan. Over to the playoff bracket, the matchups that we will see are both Gran and EN with bye weeks. And meeting in the first round of the playoffs will be TCP and Ian and TJ and Hutch. I'm a god, I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So like Susie said, that is basically the color coding. So the color coding on the right will match up. Anything in purple means the semifinals, and any other color means whichever color you are. You take that color and you find your other color, or the other coach with the same color, and that's who you're playing in the first round. And then if you look to the left side, this is only for the playoff teams. So if your name is next to a white color, you are going to be in the same bracket. And if your name is next to a black color, you'll be in the same bracket. So on the left side of the bracket, I think it's the left side. Yeah, left side of the bracket, we will have TJ playing myself, Hutch, and Gran will have a bye week. He will play the winner of Hutch versus TJ. Now, on the other side of the bracket, we will have EN, who has the first round bye. Ian will play TCP. Then EN would play the winner of TCP versus Ian. The consolation bracket is pretty standard. There will be 7-14 on one side. It's on the left side. It's 7-14, 10-11. And then the other side is 8-13, 9-12. And then you'll basically funnel in down the bracket. It's a much more simpler bracket than the playoff one is. It just works as an 8-person bracket. So, yeah, 3 weeks of playoffs. Get hyped for it, guys. And we will have weekly recap and pick'em crew, I believe, going out for that. But, yeah. Anything to add?
Are we doing playoff preview or no?
Playoff preview? What was that?
It's the same exact thing, but we talk about the games that happened last week in the playoffs and the consolation bracket. Are we doing that or no?
My guy, that's weekly recap. That's literally, you just described that.
Oh, wow, that's true. That's unfortunate then. I guess the era dies again until the next season in like week 8 or whatever.
We will resurrect it. All right, what was the
I'm
thing that
sorry,
you said at the
guys.
beginning of the
It's
video that you wanted to add?
that was it. So now I'm depressed.
Oh, well, yeah, I get shut down. All right, go ahead and take us out,
Well,
Susie.
anyways, guys, I'm sorry to see this go. We'll be back in probably like 2 or 3 months or something. I'm bad with time, maybe 4 months. Well, until then, just remember the great information that we gave all of you about the playoff picture, how we got all of our predictions totally wrong, and how all of my intros inspired you guys to live your lives better. Thank you.
All right, goodbye, guys.